Hi, I'm Kirby Glad, and this is an instructional video about registration for the neighborhood caucus elections, especially using the information from VoterClick. So there are a couple of different ways to register at the caucus, and the purpose of that is three things. First of all, we want to make sure that we're collecting contact information for the people who are coming to caucus. These are our party supporters. They're the ones who are the most active. We want to make sure that the party has a way of contacting them later. And we want to give them information about what's going on and about issues that are important in the Republican Party. The second reason is to make sure that we verify voters. So at the caucus, only certain people are allowed to vote. Refer to your precinct rules. Members of the Republican Party are allowed to vote. Members of other parties are not. So we want to make sure that the people who are here are those who are allowed to vote and allowed to participate, or we know who they are if they're not. And then the third reason is so that we have a credential count. So when we are balloting, if we know that there's 200 people who are authorized to vote, and if we get 210 ballots during the meeting, then we know something's wrong and we need to fix it. So having a credential count helps us to make sure that the voting process is fair and lawful. So there are two ways of doing a paper registration. So this is people who have not pre-registered. I'll talk about pre-registration in a moment. They come to the precinct meeting with their photo ID and they're ready to be registered. At a table at the precinct, I've got several stations here with a voter list, a complete voter list of the precinct. Don't try to split one list up, into A's, B's, C's, because no one will know what line to stand in. Make sure that all of your registrars have a complete voter list so that any voter can register at any table position. You should have about one registrar for every 25 people you expect to come to your precinct caucus election. In my caucus, we have about 250 people show up, so we're going to have 8 registrars, and they'll each have their own list, so 8 different lists. Make sure that you have those prepared in advance, and of course everyone needs a pen. And the steps are, you get someone's name and their ID, you look them up on the list, that takes a little bit of time. You check their contact information, it may already be on the list, or it may not, or it could be wrong. You want to make sure you collect the correct contact information and then have them sign in. So in the case where, here's an example of someone who's going to come up and register. So next please, just please give me your name and your ID.
McCall Glad.
McCall Glad, excellent. Okay, what a fine family name you have. All right, let me see, just Glad. Okay, there you are, right? Is that you?
Yes.
Okay, would you just please double check your phone number, and is that your correct address?
Yes.
Okay, and then I see that your phone number is missing in your email. Could you fill in your phone number and your email for me, please? What's the tune for Jeopardy? Da, 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 da. Perfect, thank you. Is that an A or an E right there? Is that
That's an A.
An A, perfect,
Yes.
okay. All right, and then if you'll just sign right there, that'd be great. All right. And then here is your voter credential. Thank you very much. So let me explain what the voter credential is. Remember that the second purpose is making sure that only people who are supposed to vote and participate are voting and participating. There are many ways to do this, and in several precincts, a voter credential is handed out. So if I know you're a Republican, you get a pink. If I know you're some other party, you get a yellow. And that way I know that pinks are allowed to vote and yellows are not, etc. This can be done by handing out a colored card or a printed voter credential. Some precincts even use wristbands or other methods.